Yalasanga, day 30 of 31 days. It's hard to believe for many of us. We might have begun this just after Christmas, and that feels like a like a distant memory. The thing that I thought of when I first I considered there might be some people who would be interested in doing 31 days of practice in January. And if you're doing this February, March, April, May, that's great. This is just, when I first thought about it, you know, I really wanted people to come round to this idea of consistency in anything that we do, okay? And from my own practice, like when it became more consistent is when it started to really blossom. And for you, hopefully there's some things that have become more comfortable. So we're going to go really back to basics today. We're going to do some mobility movements, some spinal movements, some slow breath in, some slow breath out, okay? So we'll start in a seated position. If you have a cushion that you want to sit on your cushion. And then let your hands rest on your knees. And all we're going to do to begin with is just let our weight go forward. So you're gently putting a bit of weight down on your knees and then over to one side. Coming slightly back, over to the other side. So we're making circles with our body. And you feel the weight transfer around, and you can change the direction of this. You can take it a little further if that's feeling balanced and comfortable for you. Good. And when you come to the center, you can maybe even do some cat and cow here. So you're drawing your belly away and towards your spine, and then you're sticking your belly out and your chest is coming up. And you can go between these two movements. It's a gentle practice for today, nothing too intense. Just seeing how your body feels, and then a little circle again. Okay, and you might find that you go a little bit further the second time, maybe, maybe not. Okay. Then bring your fingers in front of your shins. Shuffle your hips a little bit further back, take an inhale, and as you exhale, slowly go forward. Maybe your elbows can come towards the floor, maybe they can go a little wider, and your head can drop a little closer, and then slowly come up. Walk your hands back towards you, and take your hands behind, squeeze your shoulder blades together. So think about your shoulders going forwards and backwards here, from side to side here. Just think about your shoulders becoming, it's a really mobile joint, the shoulder, right? We can really like free it up. And then bring your left hand forward to your right knee. And take the other hand behind to create some traction. And then gently release. And use both hands to create some traction. One more time either side. Turning. Oh, nice little click in my back there as I've done that. Turning the other way, and then come to the front, okay? Let your left hand come down and inhale up through your right hand and exhale all the way over. See if you can reach a bit further into space than you think you can. Try the other side. Inhale, go tall, reaching up, and exhale over. And one more time either side. Inhale all the way up, exhale all the way over. Inhale all the way up and exhale all the way over. Good. And then back to the centre. Give everything a wee shake off. And then see how it feels to go forward again. Okay. Fingertips, maybe you were struggling to get your fingertips down, then maybe your hands down, maybe your elbows down. Okay. Maybe your head can come a little closer to the floor. And then come up. Okay. So we're going to stay in a seated position. If you need to shake off your legs, just to get them comfortable, shake them off, tap them up and down. Maybe make circles with your feet. Okay, we're going to do a bit more ankle rotation in a moment. And then come back to a seated position. It feels comfortable for you. Put one hand on your knee. Put your other hand to the back of your head. This is your Mokram and Wise moment. let your elbow go back, and then your elbow go forward and down. And let it go back again. Okay. Trying to open up across the front of your body. And then let your elbow come across and down. Let it go up and back. The next time you come, release your hand that's on your knee to give you a bit more freedom to move a bit deeper as you open up and as you come forward. You might want to reach your hand all the way back, a little bit further back into space, and then beyond your knee and out to the side. And you might try that a couple more times, reaching all the way back out into space and then all the way forward. Use the space around you. And when you come up, shake this hand off, get nice and loose. Your wrist, your forearm, your elbow, your upper arm, your shoulder, okay? And then try the other side. Put your hand on your knee, bring your fingers to the back of your head. You don't have to make any more Kim Wise jokes this time. Bring your elbow down and back. Forward and down. Good. Maybe using the exhale to go forward, placing your hand on the floor when you want to place your hand on the floor to give you a bit more scope for movement. And then reach your hand all the way out and back, and then all the way beyond. Okay. Now you can stay here, right? If you find that you get to a position where you're like, oh, I actually want to stay here a little bit longer, stay there a little bit longer. Reach a bit further back and come across. Good. And you can lean into it a bit more. You can see how that feels. And then come back up again. And just get that nice and loose. Shake off your fingers, shake off your wrist, shake off your forearm, your elbow, your upper arm, your shoulder. Okay, good. And then take your hands behind and let both feet come out towards the front. Shake them off from side to side. Okay, spread your toes and then squeeze your toes. Spread, squeeze, okay, spread and squeeze. Okay, if you want to, one of the things we can do with our feet that we haven't done this month, and we haven't actually done that much with our feet this month, is you can bring one foot up, okay, you can take your hand behind your thigh, take your feet forward, squeeze your toes, like you're reaching for something with your toes, grabbing it with your toes, and then try and keep your toes squeezed and bring them slightly back. Now it's going to cramp, but it's strong work for your feet, okay, so don't worry if you cramp. Let your toes relax. Try that again. So reach forward, like you're picking something up with your toes. Keep a hold of it and bring your toes back. It's intense. And then let your toes relax. Make circles with your whole foot. And then circle in the opposite direction. Good. And then take that movement out of your foot and into your hip. So circle your knee around. Good. Try a little mobility test here. Might be better than you were at the start of the month. Can you touch your knee and your nose? Okay. Can you drop your knee out so you're holding your foot? And can you touch your toes and your nose? So let that go from side to side. See how that feels. Good. You can even hug it in, like a little bambino. Okay. Not the prettiest bambino, but you're hugging one hand around your knee, one hand around your foot. And then let that go. Okay, give it a wee shake off. Get nice and loose, and then bend your other knee. Take your hands around your foot, bring your toes up, squeeze them and spread them. Okay, squeeze them and spread them. We really don't do a lot with our feet, so it's really important that we have a program of just kind of little things that we add to our life for our feet to get more movement, more mobility, more strength. So like we did on the other side, reach forward, squeeze your toes, keep that squeeze and bring your toes back. Reach forward, squeeze with your toes, squeeze, 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 and bring it slightly back. And reach forward, squeeze, like you're making a fist. I didn't squeeze hard enough there. Try and squeeze hard and draw it slowly back. So you really feel like you're working the muscle of your toes. If you get cramp, give your foot a wee rub, okay? Do a little more articulation of your ankle and the opposite direction. Good. And then see if you can touch your nose and your knee. Let it go from side to side. Make circles with your knee. Good. And then from there, come back to center. Let your knee drop out, your foot go from side to side, and basically your shin going from side to side. And if you can touch your nose and your toes, you can touch your nose and your toes. If you can't, well, that's okay, really, isn't it? It's not a disaster if you can't touch your nose and your toes. I've never really been anywhere where they asked me to, so okay, shake off from side to side. It's just a wee test. Tap your knees up and down. Bring your feet a bit flatter on the floor. Take your feet a bit wider and let your knees gently go from side to side. See how this feels to make this movement. Okay, we haven't done this since quite near the start of the month. And what we're going to do is let our feet go a bit wider still. Okay, I'm going to move this cushion because it's kind of in the way, more of a hindrance. And when you get your knee out to one side this time, let the other knee come towards the opposite heel and lean over here. Okay, so lean over your leg, come up and try the other side. So your knee comes down, the other knee comes down and lean over. And one more time either side. Okay. You can even slide the back leg a little further back so we move into a version of pigeon posture. This can actually get quite dynamic if you really want to play with it, but this is for another day and not in our 31 days. Bring your legs out to the front, give them a wee shake off, tap them up and down, get them nice and loose. Cross out your legs again, clasp your hands. And start to make that movement we made at the very start of the month. Just moving through your body. Do you feel like your body might flow a little bit better? Like you might have a bit of more of a connection to your movement over the past month. And then see if you can switch. So I was leading with my right hand because that's my dominant side. Can you lead with your left side? If your right's your dominant side. If it's your left is your dominant side, can you lead with your right? Okay. I instantly want to go back to my right. Okay. So try and notice which one is doing the leading. Good. And then roll through your shoulders. Really shrug them up, bring them back. Maybe take a big inhale. And exhale, let them soften, okay? Give them a wee shake from side to side. Inhale, lift them up. Squeeze them up and exhale, let them soften, okay? Clasp your hands towards your chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, let your fingers go forward. Push your palms out, tuck your chin in. Inhale, lift your hands all the way up over your head. Reaching up further, 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 further. And as you exhale, let your hands come behind your back. Draw your fingers towards the floor, okay? Inhale. Draw your fingers down in your chest like that. As you exhale, try not jut your chin or your chest forward. Let your hands come out towards the back. Good. And let them come down. Shake off. Clasp your hands the opposite way. Remember, we talked about our habits earlier this month. So the unusual way for you, clasp your hands. Bring them towards your chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, take your fingers forward, push your palms out, tuck your chin in. Inhale, lift all the way up. Reaching a little further back. Exhale, release your hands, clasp them behind your back. Draw your fingers towards the floor, elevate your chest, take an inhale. And as you exhale, same as we did before, bring your fingers away from your back. Okay. And let them come down. Shake them off, get nice and loose, roll through your shoulders. See how that's feeling now. Take your arms up a little bit higher and do some wrist rotations here. So we did this at the start of the month. See how your wrists are feeling now. Try it in the opposite direction. And when you're finished with the wrists, take it into the elbows. Again, going way back, 31 days. Making these rotations with our elbows, our inner elbows. They're making the rotation with our hands and our forearms, really. And then the opposite way. And then bring your fingers to your shoulders and start to really work with the movement of your shoulders, okay? You can change the direction of that if that feels good for you. Try and get the elbows going as big a circle as you can. And then from there, shake it off. Get nice and loose, shake off through your fingers, through your wrists, your forearms, through your elbows, through your upper arms, and then again through your shoulders, okay? Bring yourself to a seated position. We're going to do a little bit of just massaging your face, okay? We haven't done this at all this month. Okay, so bring your middle and index finger, your peace fingers, just to your temple. Okay, so just to touch your eyebrows and just come to the edge of your eyebrows and touch with the lightest touch you can. And just give the gentlest circles here. You can do this anywhere else on your face you want to. Just taking these two fingers on both hands and just doing circles. It's super nice at the temple here. You can go a little harder, a little softer, whatever feels right for you today. And then from there, let your hands rest where it feels comfortable for you. And take your focus, as always, to your breath. Taking a slow inhale and a slow exhale. Can you make it so there's a real smooth flow? So there's not a syncopated flow or a interrupted flow. It's a smooth flow, like you were pouring from a really fine spout into a glass. Okay, you're really like making it smooth, both on the way in and on the way out. And I said earlier this month, we can become connoisseurs of our breath. If you want to stay seated, stay seated. If you want to lie down and rest, lie down and rest. But continually have this feeling of letting go, of releasing. Of softening your body and your breath and your mind. So if you have more time to rest, take this time to rest. If it's time for you to move, then initiate some movement in your body, in your fingers, your toes, or wherever feels right for you. Try and connect to this inner stillness. I really feel like there is a definite stillness in each of us, peacefulness in each of us. We just need to scrape off the stuff, for want of a better word, that separates us from that. And the practice is that. The practice is taking off these distractions and this resistance from connecting to this peacefulness and stillness. Okay, day 30 everybody. Tomorrow is our final day of... This isn't the end, it's just the end of the beginning. Okay, thank you everybody. Yala Sangha.